All right. So here's my my first question. Okay. Does kvCore have a instant home value landing page? Yes or no? Put it in the chat. Does your kvCore website have an instant home value landing page just in there already, built in? Yes or no? Does it have this? Okay. All right, we got some yeses, we got some nos. All right. So drum roll, please. The answer is yes. Your kvCore has an instant home value landing page, no matter what. Like when it comes to you, you have it. When you get you sign up for your kvCore account and you get it, you have it. And where is it? It's under your sell link. If you click on sell, there it is. This is your instant home value landing page. Okay. Now, so that was the first question. Good job. What does this page do? Like, what's the purpose of this page? And I just want somebody to, whoever speaks first wins. Somebody speak up and tell me, what does this page do? What is it capable of?
It's a conversation starter.
I like that. Okay, so Rosa says lead gen. Jeff says it's a conversation starter. I like that though. It drives people to you. Okay, it could drive people to you. So Jeff, how is it just a conversation starter?
Because they can get their estimated value on a number of different sites. And this way, they're probably, you want to follow up. I mean, they're not just going to automatically, reach out to you necessarily. In most cases, they're not.
Right.
So you have to keep following up. And if you're interesting enough, then they'll want to speak with you.
Okay. So you're all right so far. But here's what this particular page does. One, this particular page can offer people their instant home value. It can offer, if they put their address in here and click on get estimate, they can get their instant home value. So that's the first thing it does. The second thing it does, if people do that and they actually provide an email and or phone number when they ask for the estimate, if they actually provide that, then a campaign will begin. And so it'll just automatically happen. Can somebody tell me what the campaign is that they're going to get when somebody puts in their address in here? So I'm going to put mine in here. Now, I already am logged in. You'll see at the top right-hand side up here, it says Sylvia. And if I click on get estimate, it's not going to ask me to log in. Why isn't it going to ask me to log in? Well, I'm already logged into my own website, so most of your people, when they register on your website, they won't have to keep registering unless they clear their cookies and clear the website data. It's the only reason they might have to not be logged in again. Okay. So it didn't ask me to provide that because I'm already in the system. I've already registered. And so from here, I can now download my CMA. I can have it emailed to myself. I can have it texted to myself, or I can view comps from here. Okay. So that's my options when I put in my address. Now, I have no comps apparently. That one doesn't really work. But the download is actually quite nice, and it emails the same thing and it texts the same thing. But the download's just a nice little CMA actually. Is it accurate? Not entirely, but it tries really hard just like Zillow tries really hard, or realtor.com tries really hard, or even RPR tries really hard, but only like the market is going to decide what something's worth ultimately, or what it can comp at. An actual real estate agent or appraiser has to look at that. But it is good. That's what I liked what Jeff said. It's a conversation starter. So somebody tell me now, if somebody does not provide their email address or their phone number, do you still get a lead? Yes or no? If somebody puts in their address in here, but they decide, no, I don't want to give my email address or my phone number, so I'm just going to forget about it and I'm walking away. Is that still a lead? Yes or no?
Yes.
It is. Somebody's okay. Good. I like it. Yes, it is still a lead. Why is it still a lead? What happens?
Because they've given you their address, then you can do something with that.
Yeah, you still get an address. You still get an address, and so you might have a name. You don't have an email address. You don't have a phone number. You still get an address, and that means it's likely that homeowner requested their home value, but they just decided, I don't feel like giving my name and I don't feel like giving my email and phone number right now. Forget about it. Well, those are actually the people that are going to end up converting sooner or later. Somebody's trying to call me and I keep saying no.
So would you then send them a postcard or something? Would that be your next step?
That exactly. And so I actually have a couple trainings on this, but yes, I mean, the most obvious thing is you can knock on their door. Okay, everyone's vaccinated now. Just go knock on their door. Drop off something in a door hanger. What I do is I go to RPR, I print out their instant home value, and I mail it to them. And so I'll quick show you what I do because I think it's important. So anyway, yes, Brandon, to answer your question. So here, check this out. So I've got 297 17 Mile Road. It's all the information I have. Okay, but I can go into 29757 mile, 17 mile, 29577 17 mile. Let me just make sure it's the right one. 49330. Yep, that's it. Well, look at that. Well, isn't that a lovely home? Oh, I really like it. I'm liking it so much right now. Oh, 2002, they've owned it. That's Scott. So now I know Scott might be interested in selling, or somebody that lives with Scott, or maybe a neighbor nearby is curious, So what I do is that I print a flyer, first of all. And so I use RPR to do that. So I'm going to go to my report so you can see they changed things. All right, we're trying to figure out okay. So you can see how many, I do these all the time. Whether they have an address or I don't have an address, or they're a Sphere person or a past client or a lead, I send these all the time. So I go and, from RPR, I go create report, and I just give it a headline of your home value estimate. You can name it, do whatever you want. You can say thinking of selling ? Or whatever you want. And then I make sure the estimated value is there. And then I just write them a little note. Hey, you previously requested a home value on my website, and I wanted to give you an update. The actual value could be higher or lower than this, automated estimate. Give me a call. And, that's the gist of it. Give me a call, text me, email me. And I print this off. I fold it up in a cute little envelope, and send it in a card like they're getting a card in the mail, and I put like a sticker on the envelope. So it's usually like colorful envelopes that I send. And they open it up and they might get a couple, you might send those for 2 or 3 years till they call you, or they're going to call you next week. It just depends how soon they're ready to go. But yeah, it works. So my whole point in just telling you about this is this link here And several of you are right. You can take this link and you can share it on, a Google My Business ad or post. You put it in a blog post. You can put it on Facebook. You can put it on LinkedIn, inviting people to get their instant home value. Okay. You can, I have my pens. I have pens that say, that's a call capture code, text home to this number, my smart number, to get your instant home value. And what gets sent back to them is this page where they can, then they can put in their instant home value. I mean, you can put it on, make it a QR code and put it, send it in a postcard, whatever your little heart desires. But this is a landing page, and that's it. Now, all of you that got my setup, you have default seller campaigns. All of you that follow my training about what you need to do to make sure you have campaigns, because you didn't get my setup, then you installed your basic campaigns and you have default seller campaigns ready to go. So then you've got those campaigns that are going to start going. Now, if somebody does provide their email and or phone number, besides the campaign, what else might they get from you automatically? Does anybody know?
Texts.
They might get text, but that could be part of a campaign. But yes, besides a campaign, they might get behavior alerts. So behavior alerts you can find out what those are by going to your marketing and all marketing, and you can go to behavior automations and click on manager settings, and you can just read exactly what's going to happen here. So somebody who visits your website in these certain scenarios and does certain things on your website, they will get behavior automations. Now, this is beyond the campaigns. This is in addition to campaigns. So this is either text messages if there's a phone number, or an email if there's no phone number. They're going to get these messages based, and you can preview what is said. Can you change these? No, they just are what they are, but they're fine. They're short and sweet. And they're based on what that person is doing on your website. Okay. And so they're fine. So yes, they could get texts that are part of a campaign or text from behavior alerts. What else would somebody who requests their home value on your website, and you have their email address and their phone number, what else could they get? Anybody? There was a couple chats. Let's see if somebody in the chat. Ooh, Stacy said she did make it a QR code and put on a postcard. Good. Shows someone had visited your site. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm. So the other thing Stacy said is, like, when somebody does this, even whether they've registered or if they registered in the past and they do it, you'll see on their timeline what they did. So let's look at Julie here. Julie, she requested her home value, and she got it from one of my Google ads. I can tell because my Google ad, I've created a squeeze page, and we're going to talk about that next. A squeeze page for my Google ad, and I've put these certain hashtags there so I know what it is. And so because I've put those hashtags in there, one of the hashtags is my Google seller campaign. It's this Google seller hashtag, and that's going to trigger my Google seller campaign, which is specific. Anyway, let's look. Okay, so she's got a couple emails when she signed up. She signed up June 20th. Today is June 21st, so she's already gotten a couple emails and a text from me. And look at here, it says listing valuation. So this is the other thing they're going to get. Anytime this valuation changes is when your person should get an email. Now double check this, because when we switched to the new kvCore, it looks like I had a glitch where it said last checked like October. I'm like, well, that's not right. I know the home values have changed since October, so you have to kind of keep track of that and then ask kvCore support, like, hey, what's going on? So the next thing that I want to talk about, now that you kind of have a better feeling about that, the next thing I want to talk about is the squeeze page. So you know, you've got this, what I'm going to call landing page, where if I click on sell here, and the reason I'm calling it a landing page is it's just a page on your website. By clicking sell, it's just there. It's automatic. It's there. And you'll notice it's real generic. Instantly find your home's value. And it doesn't have an area or anything else. And it's fine. It's lovely. Okay. And then below, you know, it says my little headline. It's got my recent blog post. I mean, it's fine. It's great. I like it a lot, actually. Okay. But it's not a squeeze page. And so a squeeze page, you can tell kvCore what to do. So for example, with Julie, I told kvCore what to do because I created a squeeze page, a seller squeeze page, an instant home value squeeze page where I said, hey, when this lead comes in, assign it these hashtags so I can identify it. And that hashtag Google seller is actually going to trigger a custom campaign. So I'm kind of giving parameters or giving kvCore directions about what to do. So I wonder if it's going to show me what she clicked on. No. Okay. So to create a squeeze page, and let's look at how it's different. I'm going to go to lead engine and build a squeeze page. And then you've got these multi-property squeeze pages. Those are like lists of properties, like, you know, to attract buyers, for example. Or even sellers, you could say, you know, for sellers, hey, here's a list of all the properties for sale in your zip code, you know, that's something. But these are lists of properties, like check out all the homes with pools in this town, or check out all the homes that are on at least 1 acre in this county, or, you know, all the homes under $200,000, or all the homes over 500, whatever your little heart desires, you can create here. Okay. So those are properties. Those are like, you know, really attracting buyers, but everybody likes to look at properties. So a lot of people who buy are going to sell too. And then you got your single property squeeze pages. Those are listings promoting a specific listing, a specific property, promoting an active or pending listing. And then market reports for specific areas, zip codes, counties, or cities. And then your seller squeeze pages. So a seller squeeze page is different than that landing page that's automatically on your website. It's a squeeze page that we can kind of tell kvCore what to do. So for example, I'm going to say, where am I going to post this? I haven't posted in Get Your Instant Home Value squeeze page on Facebook in a while. So I'm going to post it on Facebook. So I'm going to choose my source, FB. That's what I call Facebook. And I could decide on a hashtag. I'm just give it, I don't even know if I have a Facebook seller campaign. I might, but it doesn't matter. It's like, I want whether I have a custom campaign ready to go for Facebook seller, I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter, because when that tag comes in with the lead, it'll say Facebook seller. So I'm like, oh, I got this seller lead from Facebook. So even though I could track it if I really dug into it, the tag will be there. It'll be right in front. I'll be able to see it more immediate. It's like a more immediate gratification for me about where I got that lead. So I like to have the tags. So that's one thing. And then I could decide where am I going to promote? Like, what area am I going to focus on? And so I'm going to say, well, I'm going to just focus on just the city of Grand Rapids. I'm not going to focus on a county. I'm just going to do the city of Grand Rapids. I'm not going to do a zip code, just the city of Grand Rapids. Okay. So that's all I'm going to do. One hashtag, Facebook seller, and location Grand Rapids. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll add, I do have another tag, GR seller. That's just, and that tag doesn't do anything except it tells me, it's my own little hashtag I made up. Hey, when this comes in, it's going to say GR seller. So I know this is a seller in Grand Rapids. You can do, you know, I'm just using these tags to categorize my leads a little better. Okay. But again, I might have a Facebook seller campaign, but I can't remember if I do. And if I do, it will trigger it. The reason I don't remember is because I have so many crazy campaigns in here from doing trainings. I don't know what I have anymore, but I think I do have it. Anyway, so now I'm going to generate the link, and I've got these 2 links. Now I need to save these somewhere. If I want to go back and like use this link again. I mean, I could just recreate the link. I'd have to go back in here, but otherwise it's not saved anywhere. So I would want to save it. And so I'm just going to copy the short link, and then I can save it, like maybe have a spreadsheet I've created. Now, if you got my setup, then we gave you your kvCore setup template or reference guide. And there's a tab that says lead gen tools. And on that tab, you can see all the squeeze pages we made for you, but then you can also add your own that you've created, or you can just create your own spreadsheet somewhere, or put it like in your notes page on your computer or on a Google Doc. Just save the link somewhere or bookmark it. But I'm just going to put that little short link here in this URL window up here. I'm gonna click enter so that we can look at it. You'll notice that short link automatically converted to the long link, and notice the long link tells the story of the squeeze page, which, hey, here's the domain, sylviadana.exprrealty.com/sell. The city is Grand Rapids. The source is Facebook. The hashtags that are added are Facebook seller and GR seller. Okay. And then it gives you a little ditty here. The average price in Grand Rapids is $403,000, which is not quite right, but it's fine. What's your home worth? This house, by the way, is one of my listings that closed April 1st. That was from one of those sellers that I did not have an email address or phone number for, only an address. And she got my flyer and she texted me and I listed her house. Okay. So it works. You just have to be diligent. You have to just do it every time. All right. Anyway, you'll notice that it's a little different. The squeeze page is a little different because it says Grand Rapids. And when I get a lead from here, it will attach those hashtags. So that's how a squeeze page is a little different. And when I showed you here for Julie, let's go back to Julie. From the one that I got on the 20th, when this Google seller hashtag came in, it triggered my Google seller campaign. And so that's, gave it instructions. But in what I just created, unless, it's just going to be hashtags there, I can just easily identify what's going on. So like, for example, that GR seller was just a code that I'm using for some of these leads. If I go into my CRM and say, I'm going to search everybody with GR seller tag, now I can search and find those leads. Like, how many do I have? Oh, a good amount. I have 62 people with GR seller. That's nice. I better be working those people. I need to get on it. Those are people in Grand Rapids that might want to sell. I need to hurry. Because my math, when I did the calculations, 20% of the leads that you get from your instant home value, they will list and sell their home within 6 months based on my numbers. Okay. So there's business in there. You just have to go get it. You have to work extra hard, honestly. If you really want to know, that's what you got to do. Okay. Next, based on that, the next thing I just want to say is, now that I've created that link, or that I know that these links exist on my website, what should my next step be? Should I just sit and wait? Or what should I do with these links is what I'm getting at. Who wants to tell me? It's okay. Well, I'll drink while I wait. Nobody? What am I gonna do with the links? Okay, there's somebody. Post. Thank you, Kim. You gotta post it. You gotta post the link. Okay, so I'm gonna take my little squeeze page link. This is the one. And I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna go to my business page. And I actually have to switch. Ew. I have to log in as myself because I'm logged in is not myself right now, which I didn't realize before I got on here. All right. Oh man, fine. Approve. I'm wearing my Apple Watch and it's like, did you just try to log into Facebook? Approve. That's fun. Okay. It's fun. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go to my business page. And I am going to click on, oh, I like that they did this. Okay, good job, Facebook. It took you a while, but good job. I could click here, create post in Creator Studio. I'm going to do that. Create post in Creator Studio. That's what you want to do really ultimately, by the way. Instead of like posting directly from your page, it's just easy. You have more control if you do it from over here. So I am going to just paste my link in here. And it says link preview on. I'm going to make sure it shows. And then once it shows, I can get rid of this text. Okay. I don't need to keep that gobbledygook text. And it says link preview on. That's good. Now, notice this picture. All kinds of agents always are complaining about this question mark picture, like, oh, it's not a very nice picture, or I don't know what, people aren't going to click on that. I don't know, it works. Let me just tell, it's fine. Okay, it's just a picture. Okay, so, but it works fine. And no, don't, you can't really change it unless you want to go through a lot of BS. So just make your life easy. It doesn't have to be hard. So, and I'm just gonna say, let's see, ready to sell this year. Let's check your home value and get the conversation started, exclamation point. Homes in West Michigan are flying off the shelves. Okay. No, I'm just gonna let it. Okay. I don't want it to be that long. I want it to be. Okay, I'm gonna say home sales. Home sales in West Michigan are hot. Okay. Home sales in West Michigan are hot. Okay, good. Now that's 2 sentences. I like it. I'm going to put in an emoji because people respond to that. I'm going to find myself a little fire for hot. And then I'm going to also put myself a little house there. Okay. Make sure it's still good and I didn't go on a new line. Okay, good. I like it. Isn't that adorable? Okay. And then I can decide if I'm going to distribute this at a certain time, or I can click here on this little down arrow. I can schedule the post. That's what's nice about the Creator Studio. I can schedule this post like, I don't want to do this at a 5:30 at night on a Monday. I want to schedule it for tomorrow. So I could schedule it. I can also save it as a draft, but I'm just going to publish it right now. And then I will tell you, seller leads aren't great on Facebook. Seller leads are better, I think, from Google, but But I am going to just click on this. I'm going to show you how you can now boost the post if you want to throw a little money at it and see what happens. So I'm going to boost the post. And I'm going to click on, instead of automatic, I'm going to send people to my website because that's what my objective is, or objectives. For adding a button to my post, I don't want to send a message. I want people to learn more. So that's the button I want there, is learn more. When it's been doing this the last several trainings, every time I present here, it's showing this weird thing, but that's not how it's going to look. The post is already there. I know the post works. There's just like a glitch in Facebook right now because sometimes technology doesn't work, but it's going to be fine. Okay, so it's not going to look like that. I do have to select the special ad category of housing because I'm a real estate agent and I'm posting about real estate. So I need to do that for fair housing laws. I can't adjust like, people's incomes or ages or, whatever, men, women, but because of fair housing laws, but I can choose like the location. Like I could promote this like in Chicago if I wanted to, but Grand Rapids 15-mile radius is perfect. So I'm going to leave it that way. I could change it to a county. I could put several cities if I wanted to. And these are the interests that work best for me. So you can identify people's interests because Facebook is smart and they know what you're interested in. So I have chosen home improvement, house hunting, and Zillow. That's what works best for me for getting leads, whether they're buyers or sellers. So now I'm going to hit save. And then you can decide how much money you want. I'm just going to throw $5 at it, $5 on it for one day and see what happens. Tracking conversions. This is if you have the Facebook pixel added to your kvCore website. It's no big deal if you don't have it, but if you want to learn about that, just go to your kvCore dashboard, go to the support articles, then type in Facebook pixel and it gives you directions on how to do it. But I don't think it's necessary to be able to boost a post, okay? Then make sure you're connected to the right account and then boost, okay? And then it'll save and it'll do it and then it'll let me know when my ad is running. Okay, so that's what you need to do. You need to start posting in a variety of places frequently-ish, okay? So does it cost more for locations? No, it doesn't cost any more that I know of for different locations. Yeah, well, Brandon, you're that age where Instagram is it, but but the thing about Instagram is Instagram doesn't love links. And so, but you could do like call capture text codes, QR codes, but a lot of people are on their phone when they're doing it. So QR codes, I think, are hard on the Instagram, but you could do call capture. So that's what's kind of tough about Instagram for me. But I know some people, they're only on Instagram, or, you do want to get your Facebook business page together though. You know why? It helps your SEO. So when people go to Google, because they do, and they search for you, like, who's this guy, Brandon Jackson? Why is he calling me? I need to know who he is. And they put in your name. You want your business to be right there. So you want your Google My Business page, first of all. And your Facebook is going to be up close at the top too, usually. Like for most people only have a Facebook business page. They don't have as much as I have. And so their Facebook business page is like their website. And, but it does help you just be a person that people can see and follow. So you want your, when people type in your name in Google, you want that dialed in. And one way to do that is with a Facebook business page. It's a really simple way to do it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just so new. I've been planning on getting Google, like my Google and Facebook.
Yeah.
But I'm not ready yet as far as my business,
I get it. Well, I have a training, and I don't know if you've taken yet. I'm going to, me see if I can find it. The Sylvia System. So I'm going to put my resources page in the chat, and I want you to go to here where it says top 5 free marketing strategies for realtors. And just, it's a free class, but I talk about owning your digital space, and I say, you know, setting up your business page, what you should do for that, setting up your Google My Business page, what you should do for that, and just like the basics of getting that together. And so I think it's great for anybody who has a business. I don't even care if they're a realtor. I think can benefit from it. So anyway, I'm going to put that, my resources page in the chat, and just look for the top 5 free marketing strategies for realtors, and then enroll if you don't have this already, and check it out. Okay. All right. Back in the day, someone teaching Facebook said ads perform better for less than PPC. I don't know, Susan. I mean, I really enjoy my Facebook for buyer leads, and I enjoy Google for seller leads. And it's, you know, and you're probably talking to the wrong person who, as far as tracking, like how much an ad costs per click, because I don't like to have no desire to care. Like my brain is already thinking about so much, I don't care. And so I'm really not the numbers girl on that. I just know that you just need to create the biggest presence you can, and not just paying for ads or boosting ads is going to do it. Doing like the organic things, like creating the Google My Business page and posting to it, creating a Facebook business page and posting to it, like having content out there. So like, even like, I hadn't even looked at this in so long. My Google My Business page, I had 465 people so far this month look at my business page. Cool. Why? Well, it's because I post there sometimes. You know, like I post stuff. You know, and you can see what I'm posting. And this is all like, they get posted on Instagram and Facebook, and I make them really Instagrammy because people like that. But they're posted on my Google My Business, Instagram, and Facebook. And so where I learned that, you guys, is $1,000 class, but I'm trying to figure out a cheaper way to teach it and provide it. I just haven't had the time yet. But basically, all you do is you come up with a brand, you come up with like the key types of templates that you would have every time for your monthly market report, or your events pages, or whatever, your business of the week, whatever. Come up with like a template that you would use every time with the same branding colors on it every time, so that it's real easy to change out each time. I demonstrated a seller squeeze page. I demonstrated posting the seller squeeze page. I demonstrated boosting it. Let's see, what else do I want to, is there, somebody tell me, since we're talking about seller leads, if you did not get my setup, or if you did get my setup, how do you know what campaigns you have running and how they're working? Who can tell me that? How, like, if you're like somebody like, I can tell you, Sylvia, how I know what campaigns I have and I know how they work. Is there anybody on here like that can tell me, like, yes, I know? Oh, Susan, tell me.
Okay, so I'm still a little clunky at this. Okay. I think it's under.
Talk me through it.
Is it under marketing?
Yes. Now what?
And then smart campaigns.
Yes. And
then my campaigns should show up there. And then you can tell when they're on because they're toggled on the right.
Yes.
And the prompts are listed there as well. Okay,
great. So let's say I want to find and I have a lot of campaigns, like crazy amount of stupid campaigns, but let's find my default seller campaign. So this is my default seller campaign, and I can open it up and say, okay, what's going to happen in this campaign? Well, and just like you were saying, well, I can preview what's going to be sent. Okay, this is an email, and it basically just says that. Cool. All right. And then, oh, there's these other emails, and they say this. All right. And then I can see how it works on the right-hand side here. I can say, okay, it's going to start for any seller who is a new lead. Okay. So any seller who's a new lead, and as long as these particular hashtags aren't listed there, that's when this campaign will go. So as long as these hashtags aren't there, and this is a new seller lead, then this campaign will go. Now, thank you. Good job, Susan. So now on that note of seller leads, can someone tell me, when I go to my smart CRM here, you'll notice I have, some of these seller leads that just say prospect. And like even Julie, I have an email address that appears to be valid. I have a phone number, it's probably valid, but she came in as a prospect and not a new lead. And this happens sometimes. So if I don't have a custom campaign triggered for her because of the hashtag she used, and she just comes in my website somehow, and she's marked as a prospect and not a new lead, it's possible that she might not get a campaign, right? Because my conversion default seller campaign is for a new lead that is a seller. So what about a prospect? And let me just kind of go over what the difference is. You've got buyers, sellers, renters, vendors, agents. Okay, you've got a lead type. And a lead can be all of these. A buyer can also be a seller. A buyer and a seller could also be a vendor. I mean, he could be my inspector. He might also be a real estate agent too. He might rent something too. I don't know. He could be a lead type, but he can only have one status. He can either be in my sphere or a prospect or a new lead or active lead, a client, somebody under contract, a closed client, or somebody I've archived. Okay, so you can only have one status. So if somebody comes in as a prospect versus a new lead, and my default seller campaign is for a new lead, what campaign can they get? Who knows? Bueller? So if you followed my training about setting up your essential campaigns, or if you got my setup, then you should have the default homeowner prospect. I'm going to just type in default prospect homeowner. Default prospect homeowner. Now, those of you who got my setup recently, like in the last month, we might call it just prospect seller now. But the idea is that it's a campaign that's for a seller lead that is marked prospect instead of new leads, so that those leads still get a campaign. Okay, so it's called the so those of you who, is there anybody on here that if you did not get my setup, you want to go in and make sure you have the following: default prospect homeowner campaign. Now, if you got my setup, don't worry, and it might even be called something else. So, and this campaign is for prospect sellers. And then you want to make sure you have the default seller campaign, only one that's geared towards new leads. And then you want a default buyer campaign, only one. I've seen, sometimes we go and do people's setups, they'll have multiple buyer campaigns ready, and they're wondering, why are my people getting so many campaigns? Well, you got them all turned on. All right. So anyway, okay. So I feel like that was a pretty good tutorial to get people going. Are there, based on like what I've shared so far, like Brandon, you've been here the whole time. Susan, a couple, Stacy, Melanie. Those of you that have been with me from the beginning from this training today, was there anything that you felt like I missed, or that you want that you feel like I should expand on?
Well, for me, I've understood everything
Great.
perfectly today,
Awesome.
but I just had a quick question.
Yeah.
This was before I think like the day before I got my email saying that my setup is complete.
Mhm.
I went on to kvCore because I was anticipating my completion,
Uh-huh.
and I had a new lead, and it was just a phone number.
Mm-hmm.
So I was so scared. I didn't know what to do with it. That was my first anything business period.
No,
So
I'm glad that you brought that up.
okay.
So when you get a lead, it's just a phone number. Who knows how that happens?
Please tell me.
Yeah, somebody tell Brandon, how does that happen when you get a lead that's just a phone number? Does anybody know? Okay. What happened is somehow they called the smart number. Okay. Now, where is the smart number? Well, it's usually on every property page, and it's at the top of every search page. Now, if you got our setup, the only reason it would be there is if you said, hey, I have my own smart number. And then we would say, okay, great. We will make your smart number the main number on your page. You know you have your own smart number if you are paying Inside Real Estate, aka kvCore, $27 a month for your own personal smart number. Otherwise, if you're not paying, then you have a shared smart number. So if you have the shared smart number, you want to make sure that your own cell number or other business number is the one that's featured on your page. Okay. Now, if you got Brandon, do you pay for your own personal smart number?
No.
Okay. So then what happened is you benefited or not from somebody else promoted that phone number somehow. And what happened is that person decided to call you, and it got round robin. Now, let's kind of start from the beginning with a smart number, and we'll probably spend a little time here with a smart number because it's a really important conversation. It's important to understand. So what are some ways that you might unknowingly share your smart number and you didn't even know you did it? Does anybody know? Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna go here back to marketing, all marketing, and behavior automation. Those of you that got my setup, make sure that you watch the training about what kvCore is doing behind the scenes. Or if you got the Genie in the Bottle series and you were here, for the first couple sessions, we started in March that we're still doing, we're wrapping up now. Then there's the whole section about what is kvCore doing behind the scenes. But these behavior alerts are one thing that you need to know about. So basically, the way it is by default is anybody who's got the status of sphere or active lead or prospect or new lead in your system, if they have any of those statuses, and they do any of the following things, they're going to get text messaged if there's a phone number in there for them. So if they revisit your website after 2 weeks, and the first time they come back to it for some reason, like, oh, let me see that property. I looked 2 weeks ago, but now I want to look again. So they come back to your website after 2 weeks, they're going to get a text message. What's it going to say? It's going to say, hi, so-and-so, whatever their first name is. Thanks for visiting our site. Are you focused on any specific areas or property types? And then it's going to have your name and your cell phone number, if your cell phone number is in your agent profile. Okay. And so that's what's going to happen. So if any of these particular things happen, they're going to get a text message if there's a phone number. If there's no phone number, then they're going to get an email instead. All right. And these are just the automatic things that happen beyond campaigns. There's also text messages that are in some campaigns. Some campaigns have text messages that go out. So like, some of the buyer campaigns, a couple of the seller campaigns have that we do as a setup, but also the default ones have a couple text messages in there. And where do the text messages come from? Who knows? What number do they come from? The text messages that come from kvCore.
Your smart number.
Your smart number, Kim. And so if you do not have your own personal smart number, it's coming from the shared smart number. The shared number is the kvCore number that you and other agents in your region who are with your brokerage using kvCore are also using. It's a shared number, and it gets round robin. It's like you're a team or something, but you're not. So I will tell you that, so Brandon, what happened is somebody called that smart number, and maybe they thought they were calling a different agent, but you got the call. And so that's what that lead was. Now it could be a lead that's up for grabs or not. I don't know. Call them, find out.
Actually, I called. It was actually some website, like a home something website. I was driving when I called it back, and it just threw me off. I thought it was like spam.
Yeah, well, and it probably was. Like somebody else has that number on their website, and so some vendors trying to call the number, and you're the lucky guy who got it. So let me show you. So I will tell you that I lived, and you guys that have followed me for a long time know the story, but it's fine. I'll tell it anyway. I'm looking for my CRM. Okay, all contacts. So I lived for like 2 years or more without having my own personal smart number, and I used like call capture text codes all the time, and I was fine. I'm like, no, I don't need. I kept resisting purchasing my own smart number for $27 a month. Kept resisting it. No, don't need it. Not gonna do it. And then finally, I had generated this lead, Dennis Powers. I'll never forget Dennis Powers. Because on Google, because he's one for my Google ads, and I was like paying $100 a month for a Google ad for sellers, and I'm like, I got that lead. That's my lead. I generated that lead, and so he came in and asked for his home valuation, and I noticed as I was going through here. Let's see. So he came in as is February 20th of 2020, I think. And I was going through here, and I noticed that he replied to one of my automatic text messages that said, yes, thinking about it. And what he was responding to was like, hey, are you thinking about selling soon? And he replied back, yes, I'm thinking about it. And then you'll notice later on that night, he decides to call. I mean, it was like 10 o'clock at night, but maybe he had a couple beers. I don't know. You know how And so he calls, and it says, Dennis Powers called who? Matt Brace. Is my name Matt Brace? No, it is not. So he called Matt Brace, but no one answered. That's what I saw. And I was like, oh shit, the smart number. and then so I was able to call him, contact him the next morning. I set up a listing appointment. It was fine. I just played it off like, oh, I'm sorry you called me and I didn't answer. Sorry about that. But then after that, I'm like, yeah, I'll spend $27 a month because that's how much it costs to take myself to dinner once a month. So, because I'm using kvCore at such a high level now, that's when I decided to purchase my own smart number. Okay, because of the behavior alerts, because of the campaigns. I want somebody to call me, not somebody else by accident and cause more confusion than it needs to be. So that's the smart number. So if you want to get that, you go to Marketplace here and you can find your smart number add-on. And I never know how people draw on here on my stuff. It happened. And so we're just going to, annotate, clear. It's not working. Oh, I can't clear it. It's not clearing. Clear all drawings. There you go. Okay. Anywho, where was I? There's a couple chats. Did you use your own cell number? Yes. So, and so to answer Stacy's question, as did I use my own cell number? So what you're going to do, so either, no matter what, okay, you know, you can go to this drop down here on the right hand side and look at my profile. And yes, if you don't have your own personal smart number, and you're just not ready to do that yet, then just make sure your cell number's everywhere. But when it comes to kvCore doing these automatic text messages from campaigns or behavior alerts, it's going to come from the smart number. It just is. There's no way around it. So you're going to go here to your My Profile and click on Edit Profile. And then you'll notice I have my cell phone number in here, but you'll notice the box isn't checked to show it on my site. If I wanted my cell number to be the number that was featured on my site, I would check that box. But because I have my own smart number, I don't check that because I want my own smart number to show. So my smart number is just overriding everything, and that's what's showing on my website. So some people will put the same number in here and say show on site, show on site, show on site. It doesn't matter. Only one number is going to show. It's kind of like the Highlander. There can only be one. And it's going to be whatever the first box is that is checked is what's going to show. So if you have your own cell number or business number or whatever, Google Voice number, whatever it is, and you don't have your own personal smart number, make sure that's in the cell phone spot and click on show on site. But if you have your own personal smart number, just make sure whatever you're using for your cell number is in there, but don't have any boxes checked. And that way your own personal smart number will be the number that's featured on your website. Now, you don't want to put your smart number in your signature. You don't want your smart number in your signature because if like a title company or a lender gets a hold of that number, you don't want your title company and your lenders and your inspectors like coming in as new buyer leads on your website, because that's what's going to happen if they call the number. If anybody calls a smart number, typically they come in as a new buyer lead. Okay? Did that answer enough questions about the smart number and getting leads with that just have a phone number, I wonder? Yeah, I would not put a smart number on the business card. Because, you know, and then you're other agents, because who's going to call you? Other agents usually. And then they're going to come in as new leads. And then what sucks is if they're like another EXP agent or another agent using kvCore, and they try to like, they get your text message and they try to like click stop to unsubscribe from your text messages, they won't be able to because they also have their phone number associated with kvCore account somehow, and it's not going to let them. So it's kind of a shit show. So yeah, with the smart number, it does go right to your cell phone. So the calls come to your cell phone, but they come from your smart number. So like I can see every time I get a phone call from my smart number, or I get a text message from my smart number or a lead, like my smart number, it comes from my smart number. That's how I get notified from my own smart number. If I use the kvCore mobile app, which I highly suggest you do, if you use the kvCore mobile app and you call somebody from your app, it's gonna the call is gonna come from your smart number. I'm sorry. No. If you let me say that again. If you call a lead or a contact from your mobile app, your kvCore mobile app, it's going to come from your cell phone. Okay, you're going to receive the call from your cell phone, even though you're using the app. If you call from the computer, like the desktop, and you use like, and you just start calling from like directly from the CRM from your dashboard, it will call your cell phone to connect to the call, but the number will show coming from your smart number. All right. All right, Susan, she has on her smart number. Other than campaigns with hashtag codes, what else can you do? Yeah, so you can do call capture codes. So now that you're,
Sylvia, I'm sorry. What screen were you on where you showed us where those boxes were?
oh, if you go to the top right-hand side where it's got your name and then it's a drop down and you go to my profile. Are you talking about the check boxes for the number? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, the contact info.
So you
Okay,
go
so
to the drop-down menu under your name. It says My Profile, and then you're going to edit your profile settings to be able to see it. And basically, if you want your own, if you have your own personal smart number now, what you're going to do, you'll know you have it because what number it is, it's going to show right here. So My Personal Smart Number shows right here.
wait, I don't see where you're pointing.
Oh, I'm sorry, because it's underneath the video. You got to move your video. You got to move us. You got to move us.
Oh,
Okay. So the drop down menu, profile, and then edit these settings. And then if you have your own personal smart number you're paying for, then just uncheck all of these boxes. But still,
okay.
make sure you have whatever you want to use as your cell phone number. Still make sure it's in there. Does anybody know why you want to make sure your cell phone number is still in there? I'm waiting for Kim because she knows all the answers. No? I see there's a chat. Let me see.
I was going to say, so people can call you.
Oh, yeah. Well, Northwest says signature line. Okay, bye, Brandon. So yes. So here's the answer. But Bertha's on the right track.
Okay.
If I go to Smart Campaigns, and let's say in my email or text templates, let's say I'm going to do a text message, okay? And let's say I'm going to create a new text message template or email template, or I'm going to edit one that exists. I'm just going to go, text template, and I'm just going to, write this little message to somebody. Like, let's say it's, just a checking in text, okay? Check in text, and I'm just going to put for myself a demo here so I know what I'm doing because I have all these training things in here. And I use a merge tag. So hi, so-and-so, like I want to address somebody by their name in the text, but it's going to be automatic. And so, or I just want to send the text. So I don't want to have to write out their name, or I don't want an automatic one. I don't know who it's being sent to. So I got to have a merge tag in there. For text messages, the way you call up merge tags is with the little curly Q brackets. So I called it up. So hi, lead, first name, just checking in. Let me know if you have any real estate cues, smiley face. And then call or text me at, and I want to use my cell phone number, let's say. So I'm going to do the little curly Q brackets and go agent cell number. Okay. So then I can add this template. So now I've just created a text message template that I can use in campaigns or just send individually to somebody. But it's going to fill it in automatically. So let me just type in demo here so I can find it. There it is, checking in text demo, edit. So you can see here where it says agent cell phone. When this text message gets sent, it's going to put in my cell phone and the only number. And the only way it can do that is if I have my cell phone number in my profile. So even if I'm not featuring my cell phone number as my main number on my website, I still have it in there, so it'll fill in with merge tags. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, now I could have my cell phone number is what's featured on my website too, and that would be fine, but I don't. I have my smart number, and that's fine. Okay. Am I done? I feel like I don't know. Is there any other questions about the smart number do you feel like you got, oh, Susan, you were asking me what else can you do with it? And I'll end with that. Okay. What else can you do with the smart number besides, it's in campaigns, it's in text messages, whatever, is call capture codes. So especially if you have your own personal smart number now, this is ideal. So you go to lead engine and you go to, lead engine and call capture. So even before I had my own personal smart number, I had a ton of call capture codes. Whenever you create a call capture code with the shared smart number, only you can create a code that's unique. So like if this is a shared smart number, by the way, before I got my own personal one, I can still see all the codes that I created when I use the shared smart number. So this was the shared smart number I used back in the day. And I had created this custom code home. And so I was the only one who got that code home. And so nobody else who had the shared smart number could create that because it was unique to me. And so if somebody texted home to that smart number, I was going to get the lead. Now, if they called the number, who knows, right? But so if you have a shared number, and you create a code, those are still, you're safe as long as somebody doesn't call the number. But when you have your own personal smart number, it doesn't matter because they're just going to call you. But it's especially safe, so let's say you always wanted those sign riders that say, text 123 to this phone number to get all the details about this house for pricing and pics of this house. You can create sign riders. And you can create, like, let's say, I have a goal to have 5 listings at all times. And so you could create 5 sign rider codes, one's cute, one's wow, one's home, one's awesome, one's whatever, 5 codes that you're going to come up with that are simple and short. And then you can, have, text wow to this number for pricing and pics. And that can, and every time, so like, let's say I did that. Let's say, let me see if I can create one. I don't know if I have wow already. I'm gonna put wow in here. And I'm gonna just say, let's see. And then I can choose MLS ID or message. So let me find my MLS ID of my one of those, even those pending. I don't know it by heart. So here's, oopsie. Here's my MLS ID. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so I can put this in here. Oops, oh, it didn't work. Oh, it wants me to type it in. Cool, okay. This is new, you guys. What they are doing here is new and I kind of like it. Oh, okay, how nice. Oh, I can just start typing it in. That is a new feature of kvCore I like. Okay, so I can choose what I want to send, either an MLS ID or an actual message, maybe with a link in it. I want to send like the link to the property. And so, and I can choose what smart number, because I have several shared smart numbers I can choose from, but this is my own personal one that I'm paying for, so I'm going to choose that one. I can choose a hashtag. I could choose a hashtag of like my listing. I could also put in maybe the address, whatever. I can choose whatever hashtag I want. Let's put my listing as a hashtag. I can only do one though. It looks like it's not going to allow you to do multiples, which you can do multiples on like squeeze pages, but on the call capture, just one, which is kind of, so you could do sign rider. Maybe sign rider is a better hashtag if I was going to create sign riders. Okay, so sign rider would be my hashtag, let's say, and then I click add. Ooh, to custom, I never created the code wow before, so it's in there. So now I'm going to find it. So now every time I have I can create a sign rider, I can go print a sign rider that says text wow to this number, my smart number, for picks and pricing. And then it can be the sign writer. And then every time I get a new listing, so let's say this listing gets sold and I'm done with this listing. Now I have a new listing, then I just change out the MLS ID and resave it and put it on the new sign. See what I'm saying? So so where you can use call capture is sign writers, you know, I wonder, I'm trying to look for my pen. I don't know how to find it. Let's see, pens. Ah, shoot, that's going to be interesting. I'm trying to figure. I have one. I have too many. Like, look how many I do. Like, I have 1,000 codes in here, and the reason I have 1,000 codes is because how I use call capture myself for different properties. So I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to find it. But I have pens. I made pens. I don't know if I have one in here to show you. And I created a call capture code for my pens. Yeah. So these are my pens, you know. Oops. Here's my pens. And then, oops. Now I'm trying to put there. Here's my cute little pens. And then they say, you know, sylviadana.com, Epique Realty, West Michigan, text home to, oh, that's how I'm going to find it. Home. So, yeah, so this is it. So pen cell, that's what I have. Okay, so this is my pen. I have the custom code home, and it says, hi, enter your address here to get your instant home value. And then guess what I have? I have my landing page, my home value landing page link there. And I have my hashtag pen cell. And that's, you know, so that's, if, you know, people can call, you know, they can just call that number or they can text it to get their instant home value. So I have it on my pens. I don't know, you can put it wherever links don't work, put it, wherever links don't work, then do that. And also you could also use QR codes as well. And there are a couple QR, and I'm going to show you where the QR codes are in here. You can go to a QR code generator and create free QR codes for whatever website you want, but there happens to be some in here, and I think it's under website embeds, under Web IDX. Yeah, there's your website QR code, you know, just for your website. You could also search, for a listing. You could create a listing QR code. You could do a seller evaluation QR code. Oh, I'm sorry, embed anyway. But you could also create one just with a free code generator. You know, that's one thing the pandemic gave us is, you know, before the pandemic, like QR codes were like, were they going to stay? Were they going to go? But now, like, everyone's doing QR codes. So take advantage of it. So anyway, okay. There's a couple more questions and I think we're good. All right. Have you used Google numbers instead of your cell number? No, so Carolyn's asking about the Google Voice number. So yeah, you can use a Google Voice number as your cell phone number. One thing you might be able to do too, but I think it takes some technical BS to deal with. And that is if you have a Google Voice number, I think you can make your Google Voice number the smart number, but at least you used to be able to, and you'd have to go through like a big rigmarole with kvCore. So if that's something you want to deal with, great. But like you have to buy your Google Voice number, and then you have to buy your smart number. And then you go to kvCore and say, okay, I have a smart number, but I want to use my Google Voice number. And then they're like, okay, then you have to do this. Got to go to Twilio and do some porting of some sort of number to port to this other thing. And I don't know. No, thank you. It's just not worth it to me.
Yeah.
So, but yes. Yeah. And Kim says she's using her Google Voice number as her business number. And actually, you know, I have a WordPress website, and I do promote my Google Voice number on my WordPress website.
And you're paying for your Google Voice number? I thought you could get
Oh,
free
it's
one.
free. It's free. I pay because I pay for it kind of because I do it through my G Suite account. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Got it.
Anyway, okay.
All right.
What else? I think we're done.
Sylvia, just to clarify, when you're doing your pins, you said you used the code to text home to get your home's value, but I mean, that's just your choice, right? You could just say like search for homes like a pro and then do the same thing and just send them to your website.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can reply back with any link you want. You know?
Okay.
You
I just
can,
want to make, I see you always direct to the seller's value. I just want them to land on my page.
yeah, you can just have them go to your website. You know, search homes or get your instant home value at here. You know, or get up to date
Perfect.
with the real estate market here. You know, whatever you get to do whatever you want. Isn't that beautiful?